Sophie Kinsella built a global empire on humor, romance, and the chaos of modern womanhood. Yet behind the best-selling books and the beloved Shopaholic universe, her career holds a surprising twist, unexpected criticism, and one rare moment that nearly shook her fanbase. Before we dive into the story of the woman behind Rebecca Bloomwood, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and stay tuned for more deep dive breakdowns just like this. Sophie Kinsella is one of the most recognizable names in contemporary fiction. But what readers didn't know for years was that the author making headlines wasn't who the world thought she was. Long before Confessions of a Shopaholic exploded onto shelves, Sophie Kinsella was already publishing books, just under a different identity. And when her real name surfaced, it triggered a wave of shock that critics and loyal fans still talk about today. But before we get to that moment, let's set the stage for why Kinsella became such a dominant force in global publishing. Sophie Kinsella became internationally famous through the massive success of her novel, Confessions of a Shopaholic, released in 2000. The book introduced readers to Rebecca Bloomwood, the charming, chaotic financial journalist with a shopping addiction that constantly pulls her into trouble. The character quickly became one of the most iconic comedic leads of the early 2000s, and the book's success launched a multi-novel franchise that turned Sophie Kinsella into a household name. The popularity of the novels didn't stop at book charts either. In 2009, Hollywood released a movie adaptation starring Isla Fisher, which brought even more global attention to the series and to Kinsella herself. What many people don't realize is that Confessions of a Shopaholic wasn't actually Sophie Kinsella's first published work. In fact, Sophie Kinsella wasn't even her real name. Before the world met the bubbly Shopaholic series, Kinsella published several novels under her real name, Madeleine Wickham. These books were more dramatic, more grounded, and carried a completely different tone compared to the comedic, high-energy storytelling she would soon become famous for. This contrast, two drastically different author identities, two different writing styles, and two separate literary audiences, became one of the main sources of intrigue and small controversy in her career. As Sophie Kinsella, she delivered one bestseller after another. Titles like Shopaholic Takes Manhattan, Shopaholic and Baby, Mini Shopaholic, and more kept the character Rebecca Bloomwood at the center of modern chic lit culture. At the same time, Kinsella also expanded her writing with a strong portfolio of standalone novels. Books such as Can You Keep a Secret?, I've Got Your Number, The Undomestic Goddess, and My Not-So-Perfect Life helped her escape the trap of being known for only a single character. These standalones gained large international followings, proving she could dominate the genre beyond the world of Bloomwood. Her writing was known for its humor, witty dialogue, relatable modern struggles, and characters navigating careers, relationships, and the pressure of everyday life. That formula resonated deeply with millions of readers around the world, giving her one of the most loyal reading communities among contemporary fiction authors. But despite her image as a comedic, light-hearted storyteller, Sophie Kinsella experienced a rare moment of controversy that surprised fans and critics alike. In fact, it's the closest thing she has ever had to a scandal. And it all revolved around her secret identity. For years, readers believed Sophie Kinsella was a completely new voice in fiction. But after the success of Confessions of a Shopaholic, revelations surfaced that Sophie Kinsella was actually Madeleine Wickham, an already established author. This revelation didn't break any rules. It wasn't immoral, illegal, or deceptive in a harmful way. Authors use pen names all the time. But what made this moment stir up debate was that her two writing personas were dramatically different. Readers who loved the Shopaholic series felt blindsided discovering that the fresh new writer they adored had previously written darker, more serious novels under a different identity. Some critics commented that the pen name separation created an illusion of a debut talent, when in reality she had years of prior experience. This wasn't a scandal in a destructive sense, but it was enough to generate noise across publishing circles. Critics debated whether it was a smart branding move or a strategic disguise. Fans debated whether they should feel tricked or impressed. And industry watchers questioned how much of the success of Sophie Kinsella came from the books themselves versus the crafted persona behind them. Ultimately, no wrongdoing was found. Just a case of an author mastering the art of reinvention. Yet that single revelation remains one of the only moments that sparked mild controversy in her otherwise calm career. Beyond the pen name debate, Sophie Kinsella also found herself placed at the center of another industry conversation, the chick lit debate. As the genre skyrocketed in the 2000s, so did criticism aimed at it. Some reviewers argued that the books were too light, too comedic, or too commercial. Others said the stories lacked depth or glamorized unrealistic lifestyles. Because Kinsella was one of the genre's most visible writers, her name frequently ended up in the middle of those discussions, even though the criticisms weren't directed at her personally. They were critiques of the genre as a whole, and she became one of the genre symbols. Then came the 2009 Confessions of a Shopaholic film adaptation. While the movie increased her global visibility, it also brought backlash, not toward her, but toward the film. Some fans of the original books disliked the changes made during adaptation. Others criticized the movie for promoting overspending in an era where global economic anxiety was high. Critics debated whether the portrayal of consumerism was responsible or careless. These conversations never accused the author of wrongdoing, but the Shopaholic brand, by association, found itself under scrutiny. Another recurring critique Kinsella has faced is the accusation that her books glamorize consumerism. Rebecca Bloomwood's shopping addiction, while comedic, raised discussions about whether the series made light of reckless spending. Unlike scandals that damage careers, this was simply literary commentary, the kind of debate that grows around any major cultural phenomenon. There were no legal issues, no accusations, nothing harmful. Just opinions about how fiction influences real life. Outside of these mild controversies, Sophie Kinsella maintains one of the cleanest, most private reputations in modern publishing. She has never been linked to any scandals, feuds, criminal issues, or professional misconduct. Her public profile remains centered on her work, her writing, and her readers. Behind the scenes, Sophie Kinsella leads a grounded and family-centered life. She is married to Henry Wickham, a school administrator, and together they have 5 children. Despite her global fame, she keeps her personal life extremely private. She doesn't chase celebrity attention, rarely enters public drama, and focuses most of her social presence on promoting books, connecting with readers, and attending literary events. Before becoming a best-selling novelist, Kinsella worked as a financial journalist, a background that heavily influenced her writing. Her experience in money, finance, and the business world became the foundation for the humor behind Rebecca Bloomwood's messy financial adventures. The idea of a financial journalist who struggles with her own spending instincts came from Kinsella's own awareness of the irony that exists in modern adult life. Another fun fact that continues to surprise new readers is that many people don't realize Sophie Kinsella and Madeleine Wickham are the same person. Even today, some readers discover this fact years into reading her works. This dual identity has become part of her brand and legacy, showing how an author can reinvent themselves, break into new genres, and rebuild their audience from scratch. Kinsella's ability to build 2 distinct literary careers, one under her real name and another under a pen name, remains one of the most fascinating aspects of her professional journey. As Madeleine Wickham, she wrote more serious, dramatic novels that explored interpersonal conflict and mature themes. As Sophie Kinsella, she built a comedic empire defined by charm, chaos, romance, and humor. The fact that the world embraced her second identity so passionately is a testament to her adaptability and skill. Even after the mild controversy of her pen name reveal faded, Sophie Kinsella continued producing hit after hit. Her books remained staples on international bestseller lists, and her fanbase grew even stronger. Her storytelling style, simple, relatable, energetic, and emotionally light, became a comfort genre for millions of readers seeking escape from real-world stress. Her novels became vacation reads, airport favorites, and feel-good essentials for fans of modern romantic comedy. Through all the success, the debates, and the conversations, Kinsella continues to maintain a reputation built on professionalism and consistency. She is proof that controversy isn't necessary to achieve global fame. Her career thrives on talent, creativity, and timing, not drama. And even the small controversies connected to her name are rooted in curiosity rather than scandal. Her impact on modern fiction is undeniable. She helped define the tone of early 2000s women's literature, shaped the comedic voice of modern romantic fiction, and inspired countless new writers entering the genre. The combination of humor, heart, and relatable chaos continues to make her books timeless favorites. As of today, Sophie Kinsella remains one of the most influential authors in her genre, a writer whose work stands the test of time and continues to connect with new readers globally. And despite the small controversies, whether it was fans discovering her real identity, critics debating the chicklit genre, or discussions sparked by the Shopaholic movie adaptation, her reputation remains steady, respected, and remarkably unproblematic. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more deep dives into your favorite authors, celebrities, and creators, remember to subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications so you never miss another story.